Hi, I'm Amy. In a previous video, I covered the story of Shangguan Wan'er. She was a brilliant scholar official who rose from being a palace slave to drafting all of the empire's edicts. Her accomplishments were so great that many modern stories describe her as the first and only female chancellor of Chinese history. Unfortunately, in 710 CE, the prince Li Longji led a coup against the corrupt Empress Wei and spoiled Princess Anle, and Shangguan Wan'er was executed. According to the official histories, such as the Old Book of Tang and the New Book of Tang, the prince claimed that Shangguan Wan'er was a symbol of debauchery and a loyal follower of Empress Wei, and so she was branded as a traitor. Well, at least that was Li Longji's version of Shangguan Wan'er's story. And then, in 2013, an archaeological excavation discovered the tomb of Shangguan Wan'er, and in this tomb, an epitaph was found, containing a biography of Shangguan Wan'er, created by her best friend, Princess Taiping, in 710 CE, right after Shangguan Wan'er's death. This biography in stone was Princess Taiping's version of Shangguan Wan'er's story. And today, I will read you my translation of the story in stone. This is the story of a woman who risked everything trying to save an empire that ultimately turned against her. The mystery of the Wei gives shape to the heavens and the earth, and the essence of spirit provides the spark of human wisdom. While nature molds and casts many souls, it is almost impossible for these divine qualities to be fully realized in a single human being. It is rare, perhaps once in 1,000 years, that a single person possesses the brilliance to outshine the past and the future alike. Such a person was the Lady Shangguan, a native of Shanggui in Longxi and a noble daughter of the great Tang Dynasty. Her lineage began with the Gaoyang family of old and flowed through the great ministers and nobles of the Chu state. The family's glory was mirrored in the history of the Han Dynasty, where a daughter of the house rose to be empress, ensuring a legacy long marked by honor and distinction. Her great-grandfather, Shangguan Hong, was a man of vast learning and martial prowess, a scholar official who served the Sui and Tang dynasties with distinction, his sword clearing the mists of rebellion and his pen perfecting the arts of the court. Her grandfather was the legendary Shangguan Yi. He was a pillar of the empire, rising from a staff officer in the household of the Prince of Jing to posts such as attendant to the crown prince and drafting official of the secretariat. He later served as the acting vice director of the secretariat and effectively served as chancellor. Posthumously, he was honored as the director of the secretariat and named the Duke of Chu, with a fief of 3,000 households. His spirit moved with the unstoppable surge of the deep ocean, yet his character stood as unyielding as a mountain peak. If wood, he would bend it into a fine bow. If iron, he could shape it into a keen blade. He refined the very fabric of Tang Dynasty literature, making the arts flourish under his guidance. In the halls of power, his counsel stood unmatched, bringing harmony where others could not. Officers and subordinates of all departments sought his guidance and reputation. In the grand halls of the palace, his brilliance shone brightly. He was wealthy but did not seek extravagance. He was noble but never abandoned his old friends. Yet, despite his fame and the imperial decrees that filled his house, his life ended in tragedy. Her father, Shangguan Tingzhi, served at the heart of the palace as a general of the left 1,000 ox guard and a staff officer in the household of the Prince of Zhou. He was a man of innate grace, the very crown of the scholar class, the heart and mind of the inner sanctuary. and the throat and tongue of the royal court. He was a tree of towering height, destined to sway the very spirit of the nation, a spirited 1,000-mile cult who carried the hopes and glory of the people. But when the fortunes of the Shangguan family turned, and his father, the Duke of Chu, fell from grace, Shangguan Tingzhi followed him into exile and death. Posthumously, he was honored as the vice director of the chancellery and named the founding Duke of Tianshui, with a fief of 3,000 households. He left behind no grand tombs in the wilderness, only the silent bamboo scrolls of his writings in the secret archives. Shangguan Wan'er was born with a divine intelligence and a virtuous spirit. She treated the world of books as her private garden, plucking only the finest blossoms of wisdom. She used a brush and ink as a weaver uses a loom, crafting her thoughts into the finest silk. At the age of 13, she was appointed as a cairen, a lady of talent. She mastered every form of writing, and her compositions flowed swifter than sparks of fire. When the emperor restored order and swept away the old to bring in the new, she was promoted to the rank of Zhaorong, a lady of bright countenance. When the Empress Wei began to toy with the powers of the empire, shaking the very foundations of the throne, Shangguan Wan'er did not sit idly by. She saw that the corrupt officials conspired to name the Empress's favorite daughter as the crown princess, a plot that threatened imperial rule like climbing weeds. She grieved with unrelenting sincerity as she pleaded with the emperor, her heart breaking as she begged him to act before the empire was lost. But the emperor, in his kindness, chose to overlook the flaws of his kin. Seeing her warnings ignored and her voice silenced, she grew desperate, offering her life in 4 escalating waves of protest. First, she pleaded for justice against the concealed traitors, but her words were ignored. Next, she begged to resign her high rank and retreat into obscurity, but she was refused. Then she asked to shave her hair and enter a convent, but she was denied. Finally, seeing no other path to prove her sincerity, she drank poison, nearly surrendering her spirit to the shadows of the palace walls. The emperor, moved by her unyielding loyalty, called for the finest doctors. She hovered between life and death before she finally recovered. She pleaded again to be demoted to a lower rank, a request that was only granted after she begged 3 times. When the emperor passed away and the empire fell into mourning, the darkness returned. The women of the inner palace and their relatives sought once more to topple the pillars of the Tang Dynasty. The crown prince, wise and decisive, rose to meet the threat. He acted to save the imperial foundation from the brink of ruin, restoring peace to the empire. Shangguan Wan'er had survived many storms, finding peace in the midst of danger. She had entrusted her fate to the heavens while serving within the forbidden walls. Yet, in the sudden chaos of the coup, she met her end. She encountered sharp blades suddenly and lost her life in an instant. She was 47 years old. The emperor, recognizing her past service, mourned her deeply. He issued a decree for a formal burial and a posthumous title. Even the Princess Taiping was overcome with grief, donating 500 bolts of silk for the funeral and sending a messenger to offer a heartbreaking eulogy. On the 24th day of the 8th month, she was laid to rest in the fields of Hongdu. It was there that the divination symbols of the world vanished, along with her beautiful face. And the music of bronze and stone was buried forever with her white bones. And at the end of the epitaph is an elegy, a defense of Shangguan Wan'er's character and her right to be remembered as a loyal Tang Dynasty official, not as a traitor. A great house of immense merit, a long river from a distant source. For generations, they wore the official caps. For ages, they were dukes and lords. Then came this lady of wisdom and virtue, a sharp blade of intellect. She entered the palace gates, fitting her role as perfectly as a matching seal. Now, the waters of the Shang River are cut short. The sacred one-way mountains has crumbled. The pearl has sunk. Its luster broke. The jade is shattered, though it was worth a city. We look upon the young pines at her grave and listen to the silence of the tomb. For 1,000 years, for 10,000 years, the praise for her, sweet and beautiful, shall never fade.